Hi everyone, my name is Michal Kimle. I work for CESNET, which is an association of Czech universities and Czech Academy of Sciences. And I will talk about our accounting framework we developed for our infrastructure. So first of all, why did we even develop something like that? Most of the accounting solutions take into consideration only the usage, only the reservation of the resources they are monitoring, and we wanted also to take into consideration the actual usage of the used resource. So, for example, not just the CPU reservation for the user in a cloud, but also an actual CPU load. With this kind of information, we can create some better overcommit strategies, or even compare multiple HPC approaches of using these resources. We also needed for our infrastructure a unified view of the resources we used, because we run multiple platforms like cloud platform or Hadoop cluster or batch processing platforms and so on, and we wanted a unified view of this. And this will also help us to create annual usage reports for our institution. So we came up with an accounting framework called Michal, which stands for Multi-Input Cloud Hardware Accounting Layer. And the main feature, as I already mentioned, is that it can unify multiple accounting data from various independent platforms, like from OpenNebula Cloud or Hadoop cluster and so on. User can, within the web interface of this framework, see some pre-computed statistics, or it can create some custom statistics, and the framework will compute the statistics from our data. These statistics are then visualized in form of charts, and they can be exported into multiple formats. The framework was created with modular design in mind, so it can be expanded by adding another data sources or another accounting modules which take care of computing the statistics and their visualization. Since these jobs usually takes a few time to complete, they are run in a separate process, and users are notified when the statistics are ready for them. So let's take a look at how it really works. The main application consists of the Ruby on Rails backend and AngularJS frontend. It uses a document database MongoDB, which stores information about users, about statistics they are now computing, about already computed statistics, and so on. Currently, there are two main data sources. First one is our OpenNebula cloud, from which we take data about users and about static reservations. The second one is time series database OpenTSDB, where we constantly gathering data via pieces of software called T-collectors, which are on the hosts of virtual machines, and they are gathering data about the current usage of the machine. We are then combining these two data sources and this data to come up with the statistics, and this statistics processing is done by the Sidekick framework, which is used to run long-running jobs within the Rails application. There are currently 3 accounting modules. Accounting module is a module that takes care of the computation of the statistics and of its visualization to the user, because it can vary from statistic to statistic. First such module is called in time, and it can show a progress of some metric for a group of virtual machines within a time period. So, for example, you can request a statistic that says how was the progress of the CPU load for virtual machines owned by this user within last week or something like that, and it's displayed in an area chart. The second module is called overall, and it can provide in the form of pie chart overall usage of some research, of some resource, and the pieces of the pie chart represent individual users or user groups, and the size of the slice corresponds to the amount of resource used. So you can see how much memory each user used for the last month or something like this. The last one is called new virtual machine count, and it does exactly what it says. It displays a number of newly started virtual machines within some period of time. This is a screenshot of our system. The graphical user interface is a simple one, and we are still working on its development. This is an example of the first in-time module and the last new virtual machine count module. So what are our plans for the future? First of all, we have to fix some bugs we found during our test trials, and we are focusing on developing a new accounting modules. At the end of the year, we are undergoing our first big test, because we will use this framework to help us create our annual usage report. So we will use charts from this framework. And for the further future, we are planning on accounting other parts of our infrastructure, as I already mentioned, probably Hadoop cluster and batch processing systems and so on. So that's all from me. Thank you for your attention, and if you have any questions, I'll be glad to answer them.
Does anyone have any questions you would like to ask?
Do you have any kind of billing tool connected to these tools you have developed?
Sorry, what?
Do you have plans to develop a billing tool connected to this?
Probably not, because we are not really billing our users. Our users are researchers and students from academic sphere, and they are not paying per se. So probably we are not going to introduce any billing.
Any more questions? Someone? Okay, thank you.